Hello, my name is Mauricio, and we are the Team 3. Today we will give a brief presentation about the story of the Unit Kingdom, highlighting some of the most important events that have shaped its development over time.
Hello, my name is Gleiko Ivan Gaitanalana, and I'm going to start to this presentation about this one called United Kingdom. I'm going to start about the introduction. The United Kingdom, commonly known as the UK, has a long, complex, and influential history that spans thousands of years, from ancient Celtic cultures to one of the most powerful empires in the world. The UK has played a central role in shaping global politics, science, economics, and culture. Understanding its paths allow us to see how the modern nation and its values were formed.
Union and expansion. The origins of the United Kingdom trace back to the 10th century, when the Anglo-Saxon king Altelson unified several Celtic kingdoms under his rule. Over the following centuries, England expanded its control. Wales was incorporated through the Acts of Union of 1536 and 1542, and Scotland formally joined in 77, forming the Kingdom of Great Britain. Ireland came under English rule in the 6000s and was united with Great Britain in 8000s. Though most of Ireland became independent in 1922, leaving only six Ulster countries as Northern Ireland.
United Kingdom, the Celts. The Celts arrived in Britain around 500 BCA, coming originally from Central Europe. They sit in what is now Britain, France, and Spain, during a period I know as the Iron Age, where they introduced iron tools and weapons. They were known as fierce and skilled warriors, often fighting in tribes with both men and women in positions of leadership. Their appearance impressed the Romans. They wore their hair long, painted their bodies blue with wood, and dressed in animal skins. A crucial part of Celtic society were the Druids, who served as priests, teachers, and judges. They performed religious rituals, taught young cells, and made decisions in legal matters. Some ancient accounts mention human sacrifice, especially in large, weaker structures. They were also skilled farmers, introducing the iron plough, which revolutionized agriculture by allowing cultivation of heavier, rich soils.
Well, good night. My name is Lucio, and I'm going to present you the Roman invasion and the rule in Britain. In the year 43, after the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, the Roman Empire invaded Britain under Emperor Claudius. The Romans brought major changes to the island, including construction of roads, cities, bridges, and public baths. They introduced new systems of government, architecture, and trade that greatly influenced the development of British society. One of the most famous Roman constructions in Britain is Hadrian's Wall, which was built to mark the northern boundary of the Roman Empire and to defend against attacks from Tiberius in the north. Although the Romans ruled for nearly 4 centuries, their power slowly declined, and by the early 5th century they withdrew from the island. Even after they left, the Roman impact remained visible in Britain's infrastructure, culture, and organization.
The Vikings were seafarers from Norway, Sweden, and Denmark who raided and traded across Europe between the 8th and 11th centuries. Seen now for their violent attack, there were also skilled farmers, traders, and shipbuilders. Their long ships, fast and light, made the expansion possible and connected them to distant lands like Britain, Iceland, and Greenland. Their worship gods such as Odin, Thor, and Freya. but gradually convert to Christianity, adopting local customs and transforming pagan tradition into Christian practice. Despite their fearsome reputation, the Vikings left a legacy of exploration, trade, mythology, and advanced shipbuilding that shaped European history.
Hello, my name is Angel Alonso. My name is present. So, burning of the new Christian Reach in England. In late 160th century, the King Henry XVI wanted a male heir to secure the succession to her. His wife, Christine of Iron, gave him only one daughter, and the king saw to and the heir marrying to Mary and Boleyn. Leopold refused to grant the annulment, creating a major conflict between England and the Catholic Church. Henry XVI decided to beg for the people's authority and created the Anglican Church, Church of England. Le proclaimed his the supreme hand of Christian, granting both religious goods and political control. The creation of his new church allowed the king to realm and weaken the reigning of major religions conscience in England. Mine in finished presentation.
Hi, I'm Sophia, and today I'm going to talk about multiculturalism and diversity in the UK. The UK is recognized for its strong multicultural character, shaped by different waves of migration throughout its history. In the 20th century, people from the Caribbean, India, Pakistan, Africa, and Hong Kong arrived and became an important part of British society. Today, this diversity can be seen in everyday life, especially in cities like London, where multiple languages, religions, and cultural traditions coexist. These communities have influenced British food, music, celebration, and social habits, creating a modern culture that blends local customs and with international elements. As a result, the identity of the UK is not defined by a single group, but by the mixture of cultures that live and interact within it.
The Middle Ages in the United Kingdom, generally spanning from the 5th to the late 15th century, were characterized by significant social, political, and cultural transformations. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire, various groups such as the Anglo-Saxons and later the Normans shaped the political landscape of Britain. Society became largely rural, and local power was concentrated in the hands of landowning elites. A key development during this period was feudalism, a hierarchical system that structured political authority, land ownership, and economic production. Under feudalism, the king granted land, known as fiefs, to nobles in exchange for military service and loyalty. These nobles, in turn, provided land to knights who offered protection. At the bottom of the hierarchy were peasants of serfs who worked the land in exchange for shelter and security. This system created a network of obligations that maintained social order and political stability. Feudalism also shaped medieval law, governance, and the economy, castles were built and administrative and military centers, while manorial estates became the heart of the agricultural production. The church played a significant role in everyday life, influencing education, morality, and even political decision-making. Toward the end of the medieval period, social and economic changes, such as the growth of towns, the Black Death, and the decline of serfdom, gradually weakened the feudal structure, paving the way for the early modern state.
The Industrial Revolution in the United Kingdom. The Industrial Revolution began in the United Kingdom in the 18th century, fueled by abundant coal reserves, advanced science, think, and a strong economic system. Britannic's stable government and expanded global trade also create the perfect condition for rapid industrial growth. New inventors such as the steam engine, spinning jenny, and power loom transformed traditional production methods. Factories replaced small workshops, allowing goods to be produced faster, cheaper, and on a much larger scale. This technological and economic shift leads to massive university as thousands of people move from rural lives to cities in search of work. The rise of factory labor changed social structures, creates new working conditions, and contribute to the development of modern industrial society. The Industrial Revolution made the United Kingdom the world's leading industrial and economic power, setting the foundation for future technological progress and global modernization.
Impact economic and political. Impact economic. Growth of capitalism and production mechanization reduces cost, production, and development of transports, concentrates wealth. Entrepreneurs and the bourgeoisie becomes wealthy, displacing the old landowning aristocracy. Political impact. Rise of the bourgeoisie, the growing wealth of entrepreneurs gave them democracy, democratization, increasing the urban participation and the organization of workers created a new social force demands expansion.
The union of the growth and the consolidation of the state. The history of the United Kingdom took a decisive turn the 16th of 3 when the death of Elizabeth left the English throne without direct heir. It was the James XVII of the Scotland ascended to James I of England, inaugurating the so-called unions of the crows. Although Scotland and England remained legally separated, they shared the same monarch and the first time, initially complex process of the political and cultural integration. During 17th century, religious tensions, disputed over authority between the crown and the parliament, and economic difference between the two kingdoms made out the conciliation of the union's a difficulty.
The United Kingdom played a fundamental and specific military role during the Second World War. The Royal Air Force, also known as RAF, was key in the Battle of Britain in 1940, where it handled the German air invasion and prevented the Luftwaffe from achieving air superiority. In 1942, it led Operation Torch with the United States, deploying troops in North Africa to combat the Axis powers, followed by the successful campaign in Italy. More than 1 million British troops, mostly from British India, participated in the Burma campaign to expel Japan. Furthermore, the UK was crucial in Normandy landings in 1944, over 600,000 troops participating, contributing to the beginning of the liberation of Western Europe. The British Pacific Fleet participated in the final battle against Japan, while British scientists collaborated on the Manhattan Project for the development of the atomic bomb.
Years' War. The Hundred Years' War was a long and complex conflict between England and France, driven by disputes over the French throne and territorial control. Although its name suggests otherwise, the war actually lasted 116 years and unfolded in several phases marked by various truces and periods of relative peace. It became one of the most significant conflicts on the Middle East and shaped the future identities of both nations. The war began when King Edward III of England claimed the French crown, arguing that he had the strongest dynastic right as the grandson of King Philip IV of France. However, the French nobility chose Philip VI as their rule, rejecting Edward's claim and provoking a major political crisis. At the same time, both kingdoms were competing for control over valuable territories, especially Aquitaine, and for dominance in import trade, routing and economic centers such as Flanders. During the conflict, powers shifted multiple times. In the first decades, England achieved impressive victories in battles like Crecy and Poitiers, even capturing the French king, but France gradually recovered under strong leadership, especially during the reign of Charles V. The most iconic moment of the war came in 1429 with the rise of Joan of Arc, a young peasant girl who inspired French troops, lifted the siege of Orleans, and paved the way for the coronation of Charles VII. Her involvement marked a turning point in French moral and unity. By the final phase of the war, France has reorganized most of its lost territories and strengthened its military organization. In 1453, England was decisively defeated and left with only the port of Calais, which the world kept of another century. The war had profound consequences for both kingdoms. England entered a period of internal turmoil that later led to the War of the Roses, with also the polling a stronger national identity and reducing the power of the feudal aristocracy. Meanwhile, France emerged more unified, centralist, and confident on the monarchy, laying foundation for its future a major European power. Todo mal dicho. Pero bueno. Detén la grabación. Bye.